When you finally make that decision to start going to the gym or are making a decision about what your body goals are, the most common body type a lot of you may be stuck in at the start is the skinny fat body type. And in that shape, it can often be hard to find the right course of action, and it may be blurred as to which diet path you should take. Because if your goal is something like this, then you may be confused as to which path to take, whether you should worry about the muscle growth side of it first and getting massive and muscular, or the body fat side of it and cutting that stubborn belly fat and looking lean before you start packing on the muscle, and therefore whether you should endure a cutting phase first or a bulking phase. Bulking and cutting refers to the diet choices that you make alongside your training. Bulking is a period where you consume more calories than your body is used to in a caloric surplus, which is eating more calories than you burn off, whilst focusing on protein intake with the primary gain of packing on muscle and gaining strength. With bulking, you do come to a compromise that you are going to gain a bit of body fat along the way. Bulking can be done in two ways, dirty or clean. I've spoken about this on this channel before in more detail, but if you want to see the pros and cons of each, and I'll have that on screen for you now. Cutting, on the other hand, is the opposite. This is where you eat fewer calories than your body is used to, also focusing on your protein, but in a caloric deficit this time, which is burning more calories than you consume. In this period, the sole aim is losing body fat whilst also maintaining as much of your muscle as possible. Which one you should do, being skinny fat, depends. You should assess your own body and the extent of your body fat first before making any decisions. From my own personal experience and what I've read online is that if you have the traditional skinny fat physique, like this guy over here, I'd advise you go through a bulk first and focus on gaining muscle and getting the ball rolling, as you'll look better and feel better with some muscle on you, getting stronger and stronger hitting PRs, than cutting down first and getting yourself skinnier and skinnier and holding off on gaining any significant strength. And especially if this is your first time strength training and it's like your first year or something and you haven't yet collected your free newbie gains, definitely bulk first, because you are going to gain crazy progress, purely due to the fact that your body isn't used to training and is going to adapt like crazy. And bulking during this heightened muscle growth process will give you even more chance of putting on as much muscle as you possibly can in this newbie gains period, and you'll be unrecognizable in a year's time.
Who the is that guy?
Bulking is what I started my gym journey off with when I was younger and had this type of skinny fat physique. Let me know in the comments if this is also you, or if you're also like me and have left this demon in the past. But if your body is looking more like this or this, lingering at around 20% body fat with no visible tone, the best course of action is to cut first. You have to consider that in a successful bulk, you will gain some level of body fat alongside the muscle you gain. Therefore, if you already have a relatively high body fat percentage, you will obviously come out of that bulk with more fat than you came into it, alongside the muscle you gain too. So cutting down to this type of weight before you bulk will give you some wiggle room to work with when you eventually bulk and start to put on a little bit of body fat as well as the muscle you gain. Also, you should remember that every bulk should eventually end in a cut, where you shred away the fat that you gained as well as muscle in that bulk to eventually get closer and closer to that goal body you've been searching for. Many people do this in a cycle, maybe bulk for a couple of months, cut for a couple of months. Some people bulk around the winter months and then end up cutting for the summer to get shredded in time for their summer holiday. As a skinny or skinny fat guy though, you can find it very hard to gain muscle and size even whilst bulking, and it can feel like a real uphill battle getting progress and gaining muscle, and you may even self-proclaim yourself as a hard gainer. If this is you, find out ways to maximize your bulk and how effective it is by watching this video right here, and subscribe.